and these are really closely related instruments, so they work well together. Flutes themselves are some of the oldest instruments that we have. We have found remains with hollowed out reeds or even bones that have holes in them, and they're over 40,000 years old. So as far as we can tell, since there was human civilization, there have been flutes. So they're probably the oldest instrument besides the voice itself, or people banging rocks together to make a percussion sound. We have all different kinds of flutes across all different kinds of cultures. People will change them very, very slightly, but a lot of times they're played very similarly. Today, the concert flute that we have, which is the one that we all know that plays sideways, professional ones can be made out of really expensive metals like silver, gold, even platinum, but you can get a student flute that's made out of brass or nickel and maybe has some silver plating on it. That's not too expensive, and they work really well, and they're pretty sturdy instruments all around. You play the flute by actually blowing across the hole. So there's the tube itself that runs this way, and then there's a hole right on the top, and you blow across that in the same way that I blew across the plastic bottle the other day. That's how the flute makes its sound. One thing to keep in mind with the flute is that the sound is actually coming out of all of the open holes. So any of the holes on the side that are open, that aren't being closed down, that's where the sound is coming out. It's not really coming out the end of the flute itself, which is something that I didn't even know before I started playing the flute a little bit. The piccolo is very, very similar, but it's smaller. Most people that play the flute also learn how to play the piccolo. It's actually a little bit harder to play because your fingers have to be a lot closer together because it's smaller, and it's a little bit harder to get the air moving through it. The flutes themselves come in a huge range of different sizes. There are flutes that are so big they have to wrap around and they go down to the floor and then back up. And there's just a mouthpiece that goes sideways, and then the piccolo is only about this big. It creates a huge range of notes that flutes are able to play. So I've attached two videos to this. One is one of the most famous flute players out there. His name is Danny Galway, and this is a link to him playing Danny Boy. This is one that he does at every single concert that he does because it means a lot to him. Kind of got him to fall in love with the flute, or so he says. And so it's just a really, really wonderful way to hear the flute making some beautiful music. I also attached a video of a flute choir, which is a group of all different kinds of flutes. So we have teeny tiny piccolos and we have giant contrabass flutes, and they're all playing together to play the William Tell Overture. And that's a piece that's originally done for a large orchestra, and they're doing it with just flutes, so you get to hear just the whole range that flutes can do. So I hope you guys really enjoy this, and tomorrow we are going to be talking about the clarinet, so I'm pretty excited. See you then.